I am excited that we are back here for our MEWC and MECC World Finals.
For 2 days, instead of only 16 people, we now have almost 200 people playing at the stage, on the stage. So amazing.
Here we go. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
All right.
It's Dim doing. All right, Dim is setting up some name ranges. That's going to help him out in the future. So that's map 30 seconds to go.
And it's, are we going to see?
I think it's coming.
Are we going to see the belt go?
Belt, you have earned it. Congratulations, my friend.
The CFA program is your pathway to becoming a globally recognized investment professional. The Microsoft Excel Challenge is not just a competition, it's where future investment industry leaders rise. Where modeling meets strategy and strategy meets opportunity. The CFA program builds the foundation backed by the global benchmark in investment education. Chart your course. Set the standard. CFA Institute.
If you're looking to grow your business, worrying about having the right supplies and products in stock without overspending or wasting time shouldn't be on your to-do list. Order.co provides the easiest way to purchase and pay for everything your business needs, keeping operations running smoothly and your team focused on what matters most. Cut costs and complexity with every order and visit Order.co today.
Hello, and welcome to the 9th battle in the Microsoft Excel World Championship Road to Las Vegas. I'm David Brown, and I'm joined here by a first-time co-host, a finance professor from Norwich University in Vermont here in the United States. Please welcome Fritz Burkhardt as well. Fritz, how you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure to get to host this battle with you as we watch four talented professors battle it out to qualify for the Microsoft Excel World Championships. It's great to be here with you as well. For those who don't know him in the world of Excel, he's a man who needs no introduction. He's the master of Excel case construction, associate professor at University of Arizona, Excel MVP, and the founder of the Microsoft Excel Collegiate Championship competition. We've got David Brown here.
Thank you very much, Fritz. And before we get going too far, I do want to apologize to all the viewers. We were a little bit late because of technical difficulties this morning. So thank you, or afternoon or evening, wherever you happen to be. Thank you very much for bearing with us. And we'll have a really exciting 30 minutes of action coming up. Like Fritz said, we got 4 different professors coming today. We got professors commentating. So if you haven't had enough academics in your life lately, hopefully we help bring it to you today. So Fritz, what are you most excited about today?
Well, I'm so excited to see some of the professors put all of their skills into action. This is a wonderful opportunity just to see what they can do. I had a lot of fun getting to do this last year, and I'm really excited to see them. David, what's at stake today?
All right, so we have a number of slots in the Microsoft Excel World Championship, right? That's coming up next weekend. So if you haven't purchased your tickets yet, make sure you do that. It's going to give you access to not only the competition and the qualifying round that's coming up on September 27th, but to all the cases that occur throughout October leading up to the Las Vegas event that we have coming up in early December. So you really want to get that ticket and book that as quick as you can. And to give you a little bit more of a rundown of kind of where we're at and what that's leading to, let's actually watch a quick video explaining where we're at in the season so far.
Welcome to the Microsoft Excel World Championship Season 2025. There are 9 Road to Las Vegas battles that occur throughout the year. It is advised but not mandatory to participate in all of them to qualify for the finals in Las Vegas. From each of the 9 Road to Las Vegas battles, 10 participants get a ticket to the main draw of the competition, meaning they can skip the Microsoft Excel World Championship qualification round. These 90 people will be a part of the Microsoft Excel World Championship main draw, which has 256 spots. The remaining players will be determined through the qualification round on September 27th and the Financial Modeling World Cup regular season. Then, the MEWC online rounds will start on October 11th with 256 people that will play each other in a playoff format. After 2 rounds of play, the 256 players will be eliminated down to 64. The competition will continue on October 18th, where the players will be eliminated down to 16. The last 16 round will determine the top 8 players who qualify directly into the Day 3 finals in Las Vegas. The remaining 24 players from last 32 round, as well as 16 players from last 64 round, who didn't make it to top 32, are qualified for the Day 2 matches of the in-person competition. So, how will the Las Vegas finals work? On December 1st, a day before the main event, a last chance qualification round will be held for all the players that arrive to Las Vegas. 15 winners of the last chance qualification round will be playing on the gorgeous HyperX Arena on December 2nd. They will be joined by the 40 players from the online rounds, 8 local chapter champions, and 1 wild card chosen by the organizers. From these 64 players, 16 will qualify for the Day 3 finals on December 3rd. They will join the 8 winners of the online rounds to form a 24-player pool, competing for the champion's title. Plan your Vegas trip now. Book hotels at exclusive rates, secure affordable flights, schedule your visa interview, and get set for an amazing time with fellow Excel enthusiasts. Don't wait for online rounds in October. They might make your qualification path easier, but no matter what, you can still compete in Vegas. Good luck, and see you in Las Vegas.
All right, so we're back. You guys saw what we're all leading up towards, the big finals in Las Vegas. What you need to do now is get your ticket booked for next week. September 27th is that qualification round. We still have 150 slots that are going to play into the draw of 256 that all lead into the semifinals and then the finals in Las Vegas. So get your ticket today. You have 1 week left to get that. Now, Fritz, the other thing I think is really important here is that we actually have students that are going to compete alongside the pros next Saturday when we have the big qualification battle on the 27th.
It's an amazing opportunity. We have a team from Norwich University who's competing. They are hoping to be able to qualify, and it is just a wonderful opportunity for it here. David, are your students also engaged? Are they doing it as well?
Yes, and importantly, if you're a student watching, you need to go ahead and get a Case Explorer badge, an Excel Athlete badge, or finish in the top 5 of one of these monthly battles to be able to get your spot for that qualification. If you're a pro, you pay $50, you get your ticket. If you're a student, you earn it by practicing. So students, make sure you get that Case Explorer badge done by the end of the week. That'll give you that way into the qualification round, and that's how you're going to get scholarships, get your trip covered to come to Las Vegas and participate and really be part of such an amazing event.
And David, for that Case Explorer badge, you need to get 6 cases with 50% or more. And you have
That's
to have
exactly
that
right. There are 11 to choose from. Get 6 of them. You can get that all on the MECC X Prep portal under the Case Explorer badge.
And that's by Sunday, correct? That is the 21st, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, fantastic.
Yep,
so get that done. Wonderful.
And now I think let's meet our professors today and get ready to put them through the gauntlet.
Fantastic. Well, let's go around from the. We see Clint throwing up the horns here from UT Austin. He's the king of the Excel ballot, the man who devours cases like Excel salad. We got Clint Tuttle. Clint, it's great to have you here. You are a very accomplished Excel musician with a library of great covers. I had a lot of fun getting to see what you did. What's your favorite Excel theme song or Excel cover song that you've done here, Clint?
It's probably whatever the last one that I ever did. I think the one that most people know was the Justin Bieber "Love Yourself" parody, but we turned it into Learn Excel. So that was it's one of my classics.
Fantastic.
What's in the works now, Clint?
The other day I just heard Joan Jett come on, and the words "I love writing code" just totally poured out of me, and so I don't know. We'll see. I'm touring with a few ideas.
Come to Vegas, see what the next hit's going to be.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And to the side of Clint, we have from the University of Technology, Sydney, the Excel champ, who tears problems asunder. Yes, the man representing Down Under, we have Leo Fernandez. Leo, so what time is it right there for you?
2:18 a.m.
2:18 a.m. Are you a stay up to compete kind of guy, or to get a little sleep before you go here?
Stay up. I wouldn't be able to wake up at 2 a.m. To do this if I went to bed. Yeah.
Well, that is amazing, Leo. Here, well, welcome.
It's going to make your win all the more impressive.
Fantastic. And continuing on from Rice University, the Excel MVP CPA, the Wizard of FP&A, we've got Carl Seidman. Carl, welcome.
Thanks so much, Fritz. Thanks for having me.
So, Carl, I've seen some of these other competitors around the Excel competitions before, but you're an Excel MVP. And so I'm curious, how does being an Excel MVP give you an advantage in this competition?
I don't know if it does. I come from a place of finance and logic, and I know that these competitions are all about, using creative thinking to solve these riddles. So maybe it'll help me, maybe it'll hurt me. I'm not sure.
Fantastic. Wonderful. And last but not least, from the University of Tennessee, a man who's both tenacious and friendly, a man who will fight to the very last drop, the legend of Rocky Top, we've got Eric Kelly here. Eric, it's great to have you here.
Thanks.
So Eric, you coached a team that won the finals of the 2024 MECC championships in Las Vegas. They competed in the showdown in Texas. What advice did your team give to you going into this competition?
They just said, have fun. That was about it.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, we met all the participants. Let's give them a chance to go ahead and check out the case animation video while you get to all see what our case is about today.
Welcome to the Road to Las Vegas Battle 9. These series of Excel Esports battles are part of qualification to the main draw of the Microsoft Excel World Championship 2025, with the finals taking place in HyperX Arena, Las Vegas, in December. We are glad to present you the case for the battle, Kiwi Holiday, designed by Nick Boberg from New Zealand. A plane full of families is on its way to New Zealand for a family holiday, but the families can't decide where to go once they land. Each family has a preferred list of attributes, which should make it easier to pair each them with the most suitable destination. Total attribute score equals first favorite attribute score times 100%, plus second favorite attribute score times 90%, plus third favorite attribute score times 80%, plus fourth favorite attribute score times 70%, plus all other attribute scores times 40%. Travel duration. Customs are mandatory and take 2 hours upon arrival in New Zealand. Driving speed is at 80 kilometers per hour. Distances are listed in the distances sheet. Crossing between the North and South Islands requires a ferry, which adds 3.5 hours. The total attribute score for a destination will diminish based on the time it takes to reach this destination from the port of entry. For every hour it takes to reach a destination, reduce its total attribute score by 2%. A journey of 8.3 hours would see a score adjustment of 16.6%. The case has 140 questions of 7 levels of difficulty and 5 bonus questions. Plan your strategy wisely. Good luck and see you in Las Vegas.
All right, Fritz. So normally in a normal conversation, the question is, have you been to New Zealand before? But I'm not going to ask you that. I'm going to ask, have you used an Excel spreadsheet to plan a family vacation before?
I embarrassingly don't think that I actually have. David, what about you?
I haven't either, but I have played a little bit with the new Copilot function to go ahead and pull locations in that are interesting to look at in a city. You can do it on ChatGPT directly, but it's kind of nice to have them in an Excel spreadsheet right away. So that's my extent of vacation planning so far. And, you got to throw the Copilot reference in there too. As the Excel MVP, it's in my contract.
Brilliant. Well, I have always wanted to go to New Zealand, and it's definitely one of the spots on my bucket list. And Nick Boberg's case actually has me more excited to go check it out and see the various different cities that we could actually go visit in New Zealand. So I think this looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I love how you get a little bit of a sense of the world from some of these cases, and applaud Nick for a well-written case to bring all this in here.
Yeah.
So anything in particular about the case that you're excited to see from the player perspective?
Well, I'm really curious to see how they're going to attack the case. I'm curious whether we're going to see some people who are going right to the bonuses, see some people who try to read all the instructions first. I'm really curious just the different styles that we're going to see. What about you, David?
Well, I was coaching my team yesterday, and we're working on a different case, obviously, but thinking about how do you connect the levels together and build reusable pieces. I mean, so many of these competitors bring lambdas in, but there's also a lot of use to building some lambdas on the fly. That way you can do pieces like, here they're going to have to calculate the attractiveness of a particular city to a family and match attributes. Do you take the time to build that as a lambda that you can reuse very easily from level to level? Or do you just kind of dive in, at level 1, I'm not going to look at level 7 yet. That's always a tension that I see, best laid plans are read everything first, but you also want to get going and get those bonus points.
Absolutely. And you'll see that a lot of the pros have a lot of lambdas that they employ. I'm not sure that the professors are going to have as many lambdas as we'd see from a typical pro.
I'm guessing a little bit less, since they're not as, experienced and seasoned in the Excel esports. Like Carl said, he's a good problem solver, and, creative thinking is something he emphasizes in his classes. So hopefully we see that really come out today.
Absolutely. The other thing is that I'd like to see how many of them might actually pull out a let command to be able to help them in the later levels. For those who have not started using your own let command, Dim Early has an absolutely wonderful introduction, which is about 20 minutes, which is wonderful eye-opening experience, which I highly recommend that you pick up on YouTube. It's really, really nice to be able to see and learn from.
Yeah, we'll see how many more times we mention Dim's resources the rest of the day, but there's so many out there.
See what we got.
All right, let's bring our
Fantastic.
players back in and see if they have any questions before we get them going. All right. Any clarification questions before you guys dive in? All right. How you feeling? Thumbs up, thumbs sideways, or thumbs down? Solidly sideways, some up. Eric's not disclosing. All right.
Okay.
Fritz, you want to bring him in?
Sure. Let's get the countdown on. Okay, 3, 2, 1. It's time to have some fun. Let's go Excel.
All right, so right off the bat, we get to see all 4 screens, and we're going to see who's racing for bonuses or not.
Wonderful. It looks like Leo's already in the destinations and their attributes here, and he's setting up a nice, unique function.
That looks like a bonus.
Eric
Kelly's apparently not typing. I'm not sure what he's doing over there.
That is curious. I think he might be reading everything and trying to get a handle of what's going on.
The professor's actually listening to things the professors say, right?
It's, stranger things have happened, David. They have here.
Exactly.
So
and you can see Clint right away setting up some named ranges. He's planned to work with those destinations a lot. So there's the dest.
He's got
pulling
a nice
that down. All right.
He's got a nice sequence to be able to pull that in to be able to get the first bonus question.
All right. Well, and he's got it here. He's got to make sure he puts that in on his answer sheet. So
that's right.
There he's got it in. It was off screen, but we got Leo and Clinton both with that first bonus, it looks like.
So, and as you know, only the first 2 people to get the bonus get the points for them in this live competition.
Exactly. Do you think 20 points is going to matter in this one?
The last battle I think was decided by about 20 points. The last professor battle was decided by, I believe, only 1 point. So every point does matter.
Remind me who again won that battle?
Somebody very attractive, I think, won that here. So I'm not quite sure, but I'm interested to see how it's gonna play out with this. So. We see Clint working here on a match, trying to find out the location here first of the destination, and then it looks like he's going to put this together. So he's got a column in a row for he's doing his matches here.
Yep, and this is one where a lot of competitors are already going to have a two-way lookup or a 2-dimensional lookup already built for something like this. This is something that my team kind of has as a pre-built lambda to use.
Absolutely.
And so this is an area where he could save a little bit of time, but doing it the old school way works too.
He's done a beautiful job of doing his index match to be able to get that destination here, but it looks like he's off just a tiny little bit here. I'm wondering if he is he has got his whether he might have his rows and his columns switched at this point here.
Yeah, I don't see the error immediately, but yeah, we'll let him play with it. And while he's doing that, Carl took the lead.
Absolutely.
Let's see what Carl's working on. So 80 points. He's probably locked in level 1 would be my guess. And let's see where he's moved on to from there. Yeah, he's on level 2 now.
Fantastic here.
All right, and level 2. Now we're looking at the attributes for the family and kind of figuring out, and you can see as he's reading, looking at which family has those as the favorite first and second attributes. So how did you approach this one, Fritz?
So the way that I looked at this, David, is I looked at this with a filter. I felt that the easiest way was just to filter the family names, but then I put in 2 different things, both the first and the second attribute. And so when doing the filter, when you want the and, you multiply them. So I use the filter of that on those 2 attributes. What about you, David? How did you approach this one?
Exactly the same approach. And here we're going to get the lesson from an Excel MVP here as Carl brings out. So he's going to filter out the attractions first, it looks like. We'll see whether he's actually going to do it with the families, because you want the family name back at the end of the day. So we'll see if it looks like he's probably going to make that adjustment here, but he's...
Yep,
go ahead.
Has. And Leo's made the jump as well, as have Eric. So I think all of them, except for Clint, currently are through the first round and headed to the second.
Right. I gotta say, I'm surprised that they didn't go after the second bonus more. Nobody's gone after the second bonus or even the fourth, because those are going to be level independent. And I do think, like you said earlier, it's going to come down to a pretty tight battle at the end here.
Yep. So you're absolutely right. That the other thing is that it raises the question of why not hop to level 3 as well. 3 gets you a bunch of points, but it also gives you the opportunity to be able to get to your get to the third bonus question as well, to be able to pick up that nice 50 points.
Yeah, that's exactly something I talked to my team about, because it doesn't matter when you get level 1 and 2 done. You might want to build some of it to have functionality you can use for latter levels, but that's what you should be thinking about when you look at the strategy here is, okay, there's a bonus in level 3. How do I get level 3 done as quickly as possible so I can also get that bonus? Or even, do I do the bonus first and then finish out the level? That's sometimes a better strategy.
Well, Carl has got his filter running, but he's only filtering on one element right now. And so I think he'll be looking to then put in the other element to filter to see whether their second choice also is climate as well. So it looks like he's working on putting this together.
Yep. He's probably going to set up the multiplication there, like you talked about, since he's bringing a couple different things in. But in the meantime, we haven't seen what Eric has been doing yet. Or let's go to Eric first, and then we can get over to Leo afterwards.
That sounds fantastic.
All right, so Eric working on level 2 here. So looks like he's X lookup in. Oh, he might have done a combination.
Oh, that's fantastic. So he has put 2 of them together, and it looks like what he's put in families in I6 to I25 is he has concatenated the first and second attribute, which is actually a really nice way of being able to look up based upon those combined attributes. And that's a really nice way of doing it as well.
Yep, and it looks like he's about to lock in the level here.
It sure does.
There we go. I don't remember exactly if those are the right answers, but we'll see in just a second.
We're going to
I
see
think
in a
he's going to be
second.
in the lead. Yep, there it is.
Pretty good. Fantastic.
So what do you think about that? I mean, you lose some flexibility in that you can really only concatenate the first 2 columns together. So is he going to run into trouble because of that later?
You know, I don't think so. I think that he's looking at in a cool way of actually being able to deal with that. I'm not sure that you have to do everything with a filter. And I think he's found a nice way of tackling it. That's one of the things which I love about being able to watch how different people actually do different things. I mean, I have told my students, go look at various different people's videos, the people who post their walkthroughs. We mentioned, hey, Dim Early, Andrew and Guy, Lorenzo Fauti, and more paste out these absolutely wonderful videos. And they may use lambdas, but it's sometimes useful to think, okay, why are they even using a lambda here? And what can I learn from it? And what could I build on my own so I can be prepared next time?
Yep, exactly. What can you make that's reusable? I think that's an amazing point there.
So,
all right, let's move over to Leo now. We haven't had a chance to see his screen, and while we're assessing what he has going on, I want to remind everybody that you can sign up still for the qualification battle that's happening on September 27th. And when you buy your $50 ticket, you're not just getting a chance to compete there with the best minds in Excel and really test yourself and learn. You're also going to get access to 18 cases worth over $360 from the rest of the competition. And for me, that's really invaluable. I mean, I guess you can say it's $360 of value, but an incredible deal at $50 that gives you access to all those cases to just have, a lot to work on and think about and learn from over the next few months.
It is amazing. There also are some local championships which are happening this weekend. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Brazil championships are happening. We have a Madagascar championship, and I believe there's also a championship in Germany happening this weekend.
Yeah, the Deutschland championship, but I think it brings Germany and Austria and maybe a couple other countries together.
It looks fantastic. It looks like there are a lot of opportunities to be able to pick up some additional cases, to pick up other things to practice from. David, how long have you been doing this?
Oh, wow. I started back in the days of Model Off, where it was a financial modeling competition rather than more broadly Excel esports focused. So I think 2014 is when I got my students started to be involved in that, and I found Model Off, and I competed in 2016 and made it to the World Championships. Got to go to London for that, and then
amazing.
This has just been such a fun thing for me to do, and if I have to say one regret of founding the MECC is I have less time to spend doing this stuff myself. But I think that's worthwhile to get more students involved and just build the esport up as we go.
Excellent. Well, it looks like Leo is trying to put together an X lookup of to give an array based upon the score to be able to get the points here. I think he may be having a little bit of issue here with that here based upon their columns. I think he's one of the things which is really tough is going through the instructions under a time pressure and understanding what things are always referencing. Because I think go ahead, go ahead, David.
He's linking here on the attribute's value where he really needs the ranking of that attribute for that family. And I think he might have just realized that now that's where the first, second, third, and fourth come in, not from the necessary numeric value of that attribute.
Well, the other thing is, he's been up for such a long time. He taught for 6 hours today here that there are elements of fatigue, and he's figuring that out, and he is setting that up nicely right here. So he did a nice paste of this transpose to be able to set things up, and then he's going to be able to put the 40% for the others beside it. David, when you tackled this question, how did you look at it?
Let's see. So this one, I like to set these up as data tables, right?
Okay.
Where you can essentially see as much as possible of what you're working with, right? Some people like to do this all in a flat row where you kind of build things across the spreadsheet. And, if you have a really wide monitor, that can work decently. But what I encourage my students is the more you can see what you're doing and be able to keep track of it, the less likely you are to make mistakes. And so that was my approach here, was to, pull in the characteristics of the region first, then pull in what I want from the families, then all in one area, be able to, put that percentage associated with each attribute and calculate that score. So it really steps it out. And if you do it with a data table, again, you're able to see everything as you're working on it.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I had a slightly different approach. When I looked at it instead, I did an X lookup of all of the attributes for each family, and so I would then set that up. And if I didn't find the attribute for the not found, I dropped in a 40%. And so then putting that together with a sum product, I just tried to make for each location for the family, here's what the score would be, and then just be able to do a lookup on that. So you only have to do it once.
Right.
But I was also operating not under the time pressure that they were operating under, and that really makes a huge difference. It's one thing when you're doing it just on your own. It's another thing when you're doing it with those 30 minutes. And particularly with people watching. I mean, I remember when working in investment banking, where if I had a managing director sitting over my shoulder watching me, it would take 15 minutes to do something, which if I could get the managing director to turn around, it would take 5 seconds. So it's definitely a different setup. But it looks like Leo's got a nice setup here of bringing this in. He's just going to need to lock his return in his lookup, so it doesn't move down the way here. And I think he's seeing
Whenever
that now.
Whenever you see a funny pattern like that, that's probably what happened.
There he goes. He's got it, and he's got the smile associated with it here, which is fantastic.
All right, we have a tight scores right now. Let's go ahead and check in and see what Clint's doing, which level he's approaching as we move forward. We're about 16 minutes to go. And to remind everyone what's at stake here is one of these professors are going to get their spot in that round of 256 people. They're not going to have to do the online qualification battle next weekend. And so we're going to have 7 people competing at home today in the open category, getting their spots, as well as one in the under 25 group and one in the masters group, 50 and over. Now, what do we have going on with Clint here? So is he still working on level 1 here? Is that what he's on?
No, he's on. This looks like, oh, that's an interesting question. No, this destination and attribute. To me, this looks like, this is curious. What does Clint have going on here? Yeah, it does look like he is back looking at level 1 at this point here.
When he still hasn't cleared level 1, and he has a partial on level 2. Up there, he just cleared level 1.
Okay.
So, and Clint takes the lead with that. So
okay,
some persistence pays off with getting that taken care of.
Well, so one thing which is important is getting points where you can, and sometimes it's making educated guess towards the end. Sometimes it's doing things manually if you need to. But there's a great thing about being able to set something up early, which you're then also going to be able to use later.
Yes, exactly. And that's where, if I would have been a little more careful early on, you just set up a Lambda that's going to take a location and a family and give you the score. That's going to be immensely useful throughout these other levels. And it's just going to, you invest a little extra time at the beginning. It's going to save you time and also just clarity of your model going forward. We have a number of people here that do a lot of financial modeling, and that's a huge part of financial modeling is making things clear and easy to understand. That's where something like a Lambda can really make it crystal clear what you're doing, where you're doing it, as long as you know what a Lambda is, that is.
Right. Exactly. So how about, have we looked at Eric in a while? Should we take a look to see how Eric is doing?
Yeah, let's see if he's going to close this gap here. He was on level 3 last we saw him. Let's see where he's at now. So he's got 1, 2.
Oh, he's doing he's looking at an X lookup here as well.
Yep, he's got his attractions ranked for the family, and it seems like he has set up a data table just on a separate sheet rather than on the tab itself. So that looks like he's driving towards that.
I love that approach, by the way, because that way you're able to do something rather cleanly without a lot of clutter. And then you set it up one time to do what you need it to do. And then based upon that, then you can just run something over and over and over again.
Well, and David, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you were showing me a beautiful way that you'd actually even put together something with OA Robot with that, so that you're able to do something really quickly. Do you want to tell our viewers something about that?
Yeah, and I don't want to take credit for this. This is Eric Ohm and his team with OA Robot. But they have built a command in there that I use, and I know Eric uses, called Generate Game Data Table. And I've seen other competitors do something similar with Lambdas or pre-built macro routines that will go ahead and just, either on a separate tab or in the space you're working in, go ahead and do those manual tasks of, linking up the data to the level, having a cell that controls which level you're working on, whether it's the example or all the game numbers, setting up, the column of the game numbers, and then building the data table itself. And so Eric went through the process of basically automating that with what, he calls a micro automation. That way, if it's something you're going to do over and over again, you might as well automate it. If you want to be fancy, you call it some AI that's helping you. And then you save yourself, in competition, 30 seconds to a minute's a huge amount to save, particularly if you're going to use data tables on a couple different levels.
So I don't know if you've seen this, but Eric has just figured out how to be able to do all of level 3, and he's about ready to drop this in. He's done a nice job of adding up the scores from the top 4 attributes, then taking all of the attributes minus those top 4 in terms of their preferences, multiplying that by 0.4, and then multiplying the other part by that sum product to be able to get all those scores. So I'm expecting that we are going to see Eric Kelly hopping into the league. There we go, right there. There he is. Fantastic. So he is done with 3, and he's going to be off to 4 shortly.
Yep. And now he's going to put in some travel distances, right? In level 3, we've kind of valued a location. In level 4, now we're going to add distance to it. So he has to get the distance between these 2 locations. And then level 5 is putting them together, right?
Yep.
Because as a family, you got to know that the time it takes you to get to the destination matters, especially if you're driving there and you got some kids in the background and you don't have tablets for them to stay occupied. I mean, Fritz, can you imagine going on a road trip with kids without tablets these days?
Well, it's great to be able to spend time with them, but we haven't trained our kids enough to play Ghost or the license plate game or other things, and we play a lot of I Spy, but there's only so much which you can actually hop in there with here. I don't know if you're a Simpsons fan, but when Homer designed the car with the separate bubble dome, that was one where I think all parents were like, "There's an element of genius to that here." So,
Amazing reference as well.
It's wonderful to see. So yeah, we look at these scores. So Clint's got a 90% solve on level 2. Leo and Carl also have partial solves on level 2. And they are not yet to or through level 3. It looked like Eric was setting up an index match to go 2 dimensions on the distance between.
Right. It's another situation where if you have that pre-built, it's a wonderful tool to be able to use. And Carl, it looks like, is also working on it.
Yep.
Yeah, so he has skipped forward to this level. That way he can get this estimate built in here. And so, this is really anybody's game. I won't be surprised to see,
absolutely.
Especially with 140 points available on this level, that would put Carl solidly in second.
Well, the other thing which I think is rather curious is that Eric finished level 3, but he didn't look back at the bonus 3, which is 50 points, which is a lot of points right now here.
And that just speaks to the pressure of a live battle, right? I mean, Eric knows how important that is to do. I'm sure he coaches his students on it, but doing it yourself when you got 15 different things running through your head, whole different ball game.
Well, and the other thing is that when you're able to see somebody else's spreadsheet, you can see potentially, if you're looking from the outside, like, where somebody hasn't locked a cell or somebody has made some minor adjustment. And I have to say, it's really tough under that pressure. And I've done it so many times where, if I could just turn around, clear my mind, and clearing the mind's really like one of the hardest things to do, and then come back to it, it can be really, really helpful. But again, that's really tough to do. So
particularly when you're in a single case like this, I actually find that very helpful in the financial modeling World Cup, where you have 2 hours over 3 cases. You get stuck, you move to one of the other ones, and you have a little bit of a fresh mind when you come back to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here you're just stuck, and maybe you can go to a bonus question. With 8 minutes left, they got to start thinking, where can we get some points?
Absolutely. Well, you've mentioned the 2-dimensional lookups a couple of times. When I was just starting out with lambdas, I actually went to GitHub and took a look at some of their lambdas, adjusted them for what I was going to use, and adjustments that I would want to make. But it's a nice way of seeing what some other people have done and see if it actually fits for something that you're looking for.
Yeah, I think, you brought this up earlier, looking at different ways people solve problems in Excel. The same thing applies to lambdas. And it just gives you new ways to think about how to approach problems. And that is just a fantastic thing that this competition brings out, is different ways to problem solve. Because at a high level, many of our, Excel Esports All-Stars, they all know how to do the basics. The challenge becomes either, have I thought about this beforehand and I know a couple different ways and I can adapt and pick the right way to do it that's going to be most efficient, right? Because if they can do that, that's really what separates somebody from being able to do this in, 30 minutes versus 29 to be able to be the champion at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Now, there is some very interesting discussion which has happened in the chat, that Drew Ball is bet his house on Carl. And there's a lot of people both picking certain players up and also perhaps saying, trying to take some other players down to support their player who they're supporting. So we've got go ahead.
One thing to remember about the Excel community is people here are here to help each other. It's one of the most kind and open communities that I've ever been a part of. And so, hopefully we keep it pretty clean and encourage everybody rather than, putting people down here. But, if somebody's putting their house on Carl, that's a strong statement.
That sure is here. So, I mean, and that being said, this is a tight match. Eric is in the lead at 356, Carl at 237, but this can change in the next 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, and Clint's been at 190 for a little while, so I won't be surprised to see him take a jump up here soon. It looks like he's got quite a bit of work done on that level. And like you said, is somebody going to go back and get some of those bonuses? Because that could make a difference here. I mean, both Eric and Carl have partial levels. If they can find the air, with 5 minutes, it's probably worth trying to find that air right now. But, you got to start looking forward to, is there another level I can get more points out of?
Well, level 4 has 140 points to it. Level 5, 160. Looking at that difference of 120, if Carl's able to do a complete solve on level 4, he may be able to catch Eric.
Yeah, and Eric's there on level 4. It looks like he's getting somewhat close. He's trying to figure out whether you're on the north or the south island. It looks like trying to identify that piece, because you got to take into account if you have to go between the two on the ferry. And on that, what he's doing there, it looks like he's doing a 1 or a 0, depending on whether you're on north or south.
Absolutely, yes.
Is that how you approach that, Fritz?
That was what I did as well. I mean, he did it in a slightly cleaner way. He just put the north ones here for an X lookup, and if not found, it would return a 0. And so what I did is I took then the difference of both of them. I took the absolute value of it and multiplied it by the time. What about you, David? How did you approach this one?
So, I mean, similar idea, except I actually typed out north and south to keep them a little bit more clear and straight in my head.
Absolutely.
That over time, I've made enough small mistakes that I realized it's worth the couple extra seconds in typing to have it be clear when I see what's happening. That's one where I try to practice what I preach as much as I can.
Oh, that's excellent. I'm a big fan
of... there's Eric with 440.
Oh,
Eric looks like Eric cleared level 4. Fantastic. And now 3.5 minutes. Do you try to get level 5 done, or it looks like he's scrolling back up to the bonuses?
I think he's going to look at the bonuses. It looks like bonus C is still available. So I would imagine, since he's got level 3 fully solved, that he would hop in there and grab those points.
Well, and level 2 or bonus 2 also, or B rather, seems like a good one to go after as well. Since you've already done all the distance calculations, you should be able to plug that in pretty darn quickly.
Absolutely. Is B still available? Have any of the other players got B?
Now let's look at the overall scoreboard, because I think we have that bonus open. So B2, so B2. Carl has it.
Okay, fantastic.
3 and 4 you can both go after. 4 is a little trickier. You might be able to get that one done in 2.5 minutes, but it'd be tight. Yep. I mean, are you ready to start throwing the ran betweens in or not?
I'm not a huge fan of it. And one of the reasons I don't necessarily like ran between is sometimes I like to just try to make a guess which is going to be more likely to actually hit something. I've been impressed where some people might do like, hey, I'm going to do 1 or 2 solves here, figure out what it's likely that I'm going to see a number around, and then drop that in, and then just be consistent with it. That being said, you're right. It is an element of luck, and maybe, hey, it's just getting even more luck with it. But I have no problem with like dropping down and saying, hey, I think somewhere the number is going to be between 25 and 30. I generally don't ran between it. I generally choose one of the numbers between 25 and 30 and drop it all the way down is what I would do. What about you, David? Do you ran between?
I will ran between, and I like to ran between off the example. So kind of like what you're saying, put it in the region. And typically, I mean, you can have a ran between pre-built that's going to just take that example, do plus or minus 20% and give you a bunch of guesses in that range. So, lambdifying your ran between, as your Hail Mary to have it ready to go is not a terrible play.
That is amazing. That, had not even crossed my mind that some people are doing that.
Well, and look at Leo. So with 1 minute to go, Leo just surged from 4th to 1st.
Wow.
Despite that it's almost 3 a.m. his time. He has, slept barely anything since, yesterday at 2 a.m. He has small kids, so they probably woke him up early. So he's looking at 24 hours of work here. Is he going to find 200 points though?
You know, that's a tall ask to be asking right now here. He's doing an index in here. He's got his match set up, but 40 seconds isn't a lot of time here.
So, but I mean, Carl might. This is where the ran between can really get you into that second spot. Second is up for anybody. I think Eric's got number one locked in with 30 seconds to go.
It would take something absolutely amazing to happen here. That being said, amazing things have happened before at Excel Esports. It is a ton of fun to be able to see what may happen in this last 15 seconds here.
Yeah, it's all for the pride here. And, you know, just as we count it down, just props to these professors for putting themselves out here. They're not, you know, everyday Excel Esports competitors, but they're doing their best to get this out to students. And cheers to them. And look at Eric. Eric just put down the bonus.
He did. Well done.
All right, we had the last second finish where he locked in bonus 3, 490 points. Almost doubled up Leo there. And Leo, Carl, and Clint coming in tight in that 200 range. So really a fun battle. These professors did a great job of showing off their skills and showing also, you know, this is what students should be doing too, to learn their skills and get better at this craft.
Absolutely. So Eric, Leo, Eric, congratulations here on your victory. How does it feel?
Feels good. Feels good to represent. So go Vols.
You got that last bonus with seconds to go. Did you think you were going to have time for it?
I did. I used a data table like I did in a level 3 and just switched the inputs. But I made the same mistake that I made last time, and I posted the answer in the wrong bonus and missed it, and then I moved it over to bonus 3.
Well, way to notice at the last minute there.
Excellent. Leo, you had your hand up here.
Yeah.
Your audio cut out on the... There we go.
Sorry. No, I was just going to say that Eric was not meant to be in this competition today, I think.
Very true. Very true. He's a ringer.
There's a lot of finger pointing happening here.
Yeah.
Rigged.
Well done,
I had no knowledge
everyone.
of being in this competition until Tuesday. So
Makes it worse.
Good. That was brilliant.
It's amazing to come in
phenomenal
as a
job.
pinch hitter and swing so well here. That's fantastic. Sorry, David, go ahead.
Leo, great job making the surge there into second at the end. I mean, you've been up for almost 24 hours at this point, so well done fighting through the cobwebs.
Thank you. This is the first time I ever complete a challenge in one go. And I'm not a fast thinker, so I usually let them sit there and have a look at them. So it was nerve-wracking. I didn't do any of the things that I would tell my students to do. I didn't create any tables, didn't name anything. I was using index match old style because my X lookups were not coming up. Like I was all over the place, but it was so much fun, so much fun.
Awesome, and way to show your students how to get out there and do it.
Well,
Carl.
one of the things you mentioned. Oh, sorry, Carl. Go ahead, Carl. Yep.
Yeah,
Carl,
this is I think I did one of these challenges maybe 6 months ago. Haven't done one since. So now definitely a lot of fun. Really pushes you to think in different ways. And next time I think I got to have a little bit of a better strategy rather than just jumping all over the place.
Well, we saw you got a number of partial solves, so you had the gist of it going for a lot of them. It's just getting it to work for all the levels, and some of that is just setup and being familiar and practicing this.
Right, for sure.
And Clint, speaking of named ranges, we saw you right off the bat getting your desk named, and what happened there then?
I swapped the row and the column on my match for the index match, and I just kept going over and over and over again. And I should have practiced index match a little bit more. I thought about it this morning, how it wasn't in any of the cases that I practiced. I was like, I should look over that. I thought I had it. And so I probably spent most of my time just dealing with number one. And it was a basic fundamental thing that I need to go practice. So yeah.
You got your homework.
But my goal was to come into the top 4, and I accomplished that, so I'm good.
Fantastic. Well, one of
We
the
got
things
4
which you've
champions
heard is that you say that what you practice is what you end up doing. Because, I have had so many times where I have panicked, and what do? I go back to this other thing which I did a long time ago here. And so the more that you practice and you practice doing things in a particular way, the more successful you're actually able to be going forward, because then you'll rely on your X lookup or the other thing which is going to be able to do things a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, it's a fundamental like any other sport, right? You got to get those fundamentals down, and you trust them.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, guys. Well done today. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and see how all of our competitors at home did.
Welcome to the future of Excel Esports. The Excel Esports online platform is here. For the first time ever, you can play Excel Esports anytime, anywhere. Practice solo, battle with friends, or challenge players worldwide. Dive into legendary Excel Esports cases, from epic collabs to fan-favorite puzzles. Track your progress, climb the leaderboards, and level up your skills. This is your arena. Sign up today at playexcelesports.com.
All right, let's look at this leaderboard now. Jack Franken, so he's a friend of the MECC, has built some cases for us in the past and coming out on top in a time of 27 minutes.
Fantastic.
So very impressive, getting the whole thing done there. It looks like, this top 10 list are familiar names. They've all pre-qualified. Joshua Bruce, though. So Josh coming in, 1081, very solid score. And so he's qualified, as well as Curtis Landry and one Vincent Olave Rodriguez. Congratulations to all of them who've locked their spots in. We've got, some familiar names as well, not quite at the top. So I think this was a little bit more challenging case today.
Fantastic. Well, it's great to see these other names. Danendra Lohanata, Vasily Shirak, Liana Garish, Vincent Marin. Congratulations to you for qualifying for the next round.
And those are our 7 from the open division. Here we got some more points. Yeah, lots of things in the 8-900s. As I've watched this over time, what I've really seen is just the level of all the competitors is really rising. The professors are at a point, these guys are all top-notch, finance or data analytics professors that know what they're doing. They're at the top of their game, but, it takes a whole other skill set to do it fast. And so, props to everyone on this leaderboard has put the time into really getting amazing at these skills.
And it's amazing to see also so many people who've written cases throughout this list who have given so much to help expand this sport. So it's really nice seeing Harry Gross, Harry Siders,
Britt Deaton, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some wonderful names. I know that we've been going through pretty quickly, so it's been hard to actually give everybody the props that they fully deserve on here.
Well, the parity at the top now. Jacob there, he was in the finals last year. Was he second or third? And Britt has often been at the very top. Harry, Dan, they're always. They've been battling each other in Vegas on the stage. So the fact that they're 72 and 75th is just a testament to the quality of participants that are coming up. And every day we have more people joining. And if you haven't put yourself out there yet, get out there now. You could be the next person that shows up and, surprises everybody with the new big name in Excel Esports when we get to December this December.
This is wonderful to see. If we look at the U25 leaderboard, you see that a couple of these people have qualified already for being so high up that we actually have 3 people U25. And so that is absolutely wonderful. If I'm not mistaken, Christian was in the MECC last year as well and did very, very well. So this is wonderful to see the young competitors out here doing so well. And you look at these names like Benjamin Weber, who was 4th. He won it all last year in the MECC. So it's great to see the people at the collegiate level moving up and then competing also at the pro level and being so successful.
Yeah, and I expect we'll see a number of students in the pro competition in the semifinals stage this fall, like we have each year. We haven't yet seen a student in the finals of the MEWC. Benjamin Weber was 13th and didn't quite make it last year. And the year before, Patrick Chate, also 13th. So maybe this will be the year that the MECC champion pushes through and also makes the MEWC finals.
Hear, hear. And let's not forget the Masters. So Greg Hinsbergen, congratulations that you have qualified for the next round. Now, for those who have not qualified so far, there is still the opportunity to qualify on September 27th. There is the online round where there are approximately 150 spots up for grab. And so I believe, David, the link and the information about that is on the description of the video that we have here. So if you haven't qualified yet, you still have the opportunity to qualify for that round of 256. And it is a wonderful event in Vegas. I can tell you, last time I went into the whittled down rounds, and I got whittled out here, but I still went to Vegas and went for the last chance qualification, and it was a blast. It was so much fun getting to see so many people at the HyperX Arena, to learn at the conference of the Active Cell. It was absolutely fantastic. So really, really implore you that if you didn't get the result you wanted, get access to those cases, get yourself qualified into that round of 256, and then good luck in the next rounds to you.
Yep, and you have till next Thursday. Go to excel-esports.com. That'll give you a chance to get signed up there. And like Fritz said, you can always check the links down below in the video. And put yourself out there. Try this. Get better at Excel. It's gonna just be a ton of fun. Give you a chance to compete with the best in the world. Maybe you're gonna get a share of that $60,000 in prize money in Las Vegas. But more than anything, just come there, hang out. The Excel community is amazing. You're gonna meet great people there, great friends. I've been so blessed to have been in this community for a number of years now, and it's the people that make it. And to that end, Fritz, thank you so much for co-hosting today. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you over the last couple of years, and this broadcast has been so fun.
I've had so much fun working with you as well, David, and had so much fun getting to do this as well. So looking forward to actually getting to see you in person in Vegas in December.
And I hope we see many of you viewers out there today. Also, come see us in Vegas. Bring your students if you're a professor. Get them involved. Get your coworkers involved. This is something that can build everybody's skills. And, at the end of the day, let's just have fun excelling.
On ExcelEsports.com as well, you can sign up for a free membership, which will give you access to several different cases. And that's a great way to be able to play and see what it's like under that 30-minute competition time limit. And you can also bring other friends in too to be able to compete together. It's a great new platform. I know there were some technical difficulties today. I'm so sorry for everybody who dealt with them. But it's a great opportunity also to learn and enjoy it here.
Fantastic. Well said. Thank you all for joining us for this 9th battle in the road to Las Vegas, leading to the Microsoft Excel World Championships in Las Vegas. It's been a fantastic season so far. Let's get ready for the online qualification and all the 256-person madness that's going to happen in October, and we'll see you in Las Vegas.